out to see what the hype is all about.
Head to recreational courts in cities across America and you're likely to hear and then see the unusual and addictive sport taking the country by storm.
A hybrid of tennis, badminton, ping pong, and maybe a little bit of chess, pickleball reigns supreme as America's pandemic pastime, with roughly 1 million Americans picking up a paddle over the course of the last 2 years. The sport has a celebrity following, that's for sure, but this is no fad. Roughly 5 million Americans are now playing enthusiastically all across the country, which is not bad for a sport that was invented in 1965 by 3 dads trying to amuse their kids.
Players use paddles to hit the plastic ball over a short net until it bounces twice or goes out of bounds. The size of the court is approximately a third of a tennis court, and the time it takes to play is shorter than a game of tennis 2, lasting only until one side reaches 11 points and wins by 2. The emphasis on placement over power is an equalizer that makes the game friendly to all.
Part of what makes this sport so fun is that absolutely anybody can try to be an elite pickleballer, but the sport does have a bona fide superstar in Ben Johns, who won the national men's singles title at the University of Maryland as a junior, and who is considered by many to be the greatest the sport has ever seen.
We met up with Johns in New York as he's joined the digital instruction platform Top Court as a pickleball coach.
It's really, truly a sport for everybody. I've never really seen anybody not like it, and it spans a wide range of ages and people with backgrounds and all that. So I'm surprised that it's taken off quite so quickly, but I can understand why people love it so much.
What are some tips that you would tell somebody watching who wants to get better?
I'd say, one, you got to make it simple. The less movement you have while you're playing, pretty much the better. You kind of want to be very stable.
Right.
As well as, especially if you come from tennis, the ball bounces very low, which is a huge part of the sport. But in order to hit a lower ball, you want to get lower, right? So I know people don't love to bend their knees, but it's definitely one of the biggest things of the sport.
Far from its humble beginnings as an improvised game, pickleball is serious business these days. With multiple professional leagues in the United States and many overseas associations, it seems like you can find the sport everywhere you look, on TV, store shelves, TikTok, charity events, and even weddings.
I think it's kind of funny that this sport has caught on with celebrities and athletes so much, because I feel like it's something that levels the playing field, so to speak. So you might have an NFL player playing with an NBA player. They're like, hey, we can't compete with each other on our sports, but we certainly can in this sport. That kind of makes us almost even in a sense. And the same thing with celebrities. Maybe they don't play sports, they're not really involved in sports, but pickleball's fun, it's easy to pick up, and you can compete with just about anybody. So it's almost like they fight their battles on the court rather than off the court, when they can't really compete in the things that they're actually in.
With a 40% spike in participation since 2020, many are wondering where the sport will soar next. The pickleball community has reportedly expressed interest in the sport becoming part of an upcoming Olympic Games. To mount a successful bid, pickleball needs competitive players in at least 75 countries across 4 continents. If the trajectory here in the United States is any indication, pickleball seems poised for prime time. Carolyn Manos, CNN, New York.
I played it for the first time last month. It's fun. Thank you for watching. I'm Kristen Newstout in Hong Kong. CNN Newsroom continues next with Rosemary Church. To be here.